Welcome everyone. Uh, Today's topic is loving oneself or self-love. We can call it by different names. And let us explore what this means, what this can mean for us, and where it wants to take us. My name is Monica and from livinglight.in. And I would like all of you to share a bit of what you know about loving oneself or self-love. What comes to you when we talk about self-love or loving oneself?
मोनिका, मेरे हिसाब से सेल्फ लव इज जब आप हर वक्त अपनी ईगो के सामने घुटने नहीं टेकते रहते, like when you learn to listen to your inner voice, and yeah, I think that is self love, when you follow what your heart is saying.
Yeah, beautiful. Anyone else?
Hi, Monica.
Yeah, hi, Gurpreet ji.
Yeah, for me, Monica, I feel it's respecting my own self, my comforts, discomforts, my ease, unease. Respecting my own boundaries, especially giving and allowing myself space, allowing myself to make, mistakes, getting angry, not being judgmental about my own self.
Yeah.
I feel that's love towards one's own self.
Beautiful.
Basically, not being judgmental about myself. I mean, whatever I'm doing, and of course, listening to your heart, as Aradhana said.
Yeah, great. Yeah,
and also I think and also I think allowing every circumstance which is coming to your life, like with grace and with surrender, like वो rigidity छोड़ के कि नहीं ये क्यों हो रहा है, ये क्यों हो रहा है, ठीक है, go with the flow and accepting it.
Yeah. Allowing it the space in your life.
Yes.
Beautiful. Anyone else would like to share any thoughts, any ideas on self-love or loving oneself?
Monica?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, is somebody else speaking?
Yeah, Taru is also sharing. Gurpreet
Okay,
ji.
fine. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, Taru. Taru, you want to share? Yes, Gurpreet ji, in that case, maybe you can go ahead. I think there's some audio issue at her end.
Yeah. A thought just came into my mind, Monica.
Please.
Like when we think about ourselves, self-love has never been the, concept that has been explored. While I was growing up, I never knew what self-love was. And but now I think the way we love others, especially our own ones, suppose my own children, the way I love them, the way I am towards them. I mean, I feel that's how I've got to see myself as well. I've never done that.
Beautiful.
So I think when I talk about my own children, one, as I said, I'm never judgmental about them, and I give them a lot of grace even if they make mistake. Many a time it's really a time when I need to get angry with them. Still, I mellow down. But when it comes to me, I feel I'm very harsh to my own self. So that is what I think, the way I behave towards my own loved ones, that real love, I need to do that with my own self as well. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes, Taru, would you like to share now? Anyone else? Yes, so those of us who are joining just now, we are sharing our own ideas about self-love or loving oneself. What is our present understanding of loving oneself? That is what we are sharing. You can either unmute yourself and share, or you can share in the chat window also. Yeah. Yes, so Ramaji is sharing self-love is maintaining my peace, forgiving myself, and go with the flow exactly. Ruchika shares, hello everyone. According to me, self-love means forgive ourselves for our mistakes, take care of our day-to-day thoughts. Yeah. So anyone else would like to share? Yes, Nehal shares, I'm still wondering what is self-love. No clarity so far. Yeah. Yes. Anyone else? Their present understanding of self-love or loving oneself. Okay. So in that case, I'll go ahead, and as and when you feel ready, you can either unmute and share in between, or you can either type in the chat window if there are any concerns, comments, or sharings from your side or questions. So this word called loving oneself, there are two things here, or self-love. First is self, and the other is love. And before I begin to use this in my day-to-day life, I have to understand, do I really know what is love? What happens in my day-to-day life? What happens in my relationships? Can I call it love? Where I form these relationships and I want to preserve them, and I want to preserve their boundaries. I want to make the other person my own. I want to own that person or a relationship or my own self, right? Can I call that love? I may be very attached to that person or myself or the thing. That's a different scenario. But when I want to own, when I want to possess something, whether this possession is about my own life, can I call it love? Can we question it? Whenever we possess a thing, what do we want to do? We want to preserve its boundary, right? So whenever I'm kind of possessing a thing, when I'm kind of a possessor of something, for example, my car or a laptop, what would I want to do? I would like to protect it. I would like to conserve its boundary. Is that love? Taru, would you like to share now? Taru, are you there? Okay. Any time when you are ready, yes, you can just unmute and share. So we were talking that what is this thing that I love? Because I can say that I love my kid, but in that wanting to love my kid, what am I doing? What are my actions? Am I just preserving the boundary of my kid, not letting it grow, wanting to own that kid? And whenever we own anything, rest assured we are there to destroy it. Whenever we want to own anything, whether we want to own any relationship, any family, put our label on it, we will definitely destroy it. So have I put my label on my own self? And if that is the case, can I question this? Do I need to do that? Yes, Nehal, you are sharing the way we can say I love you to others. I am not able to say that to myself. I am questioning even when we say it to the others. What do we actually mean? Can we see the meaning behind those words? Because there is so much that comes on to us from the Bollywood, from the Hollywood, and from the advertisements and serials and all that, where this phrase is very commonly used. I love you. Who is this I who is loving you? Is this the body? One body in love with the other body? What is this I that wants to love you? And what is this you that is being loved? Let us question all that, not taking anything for granted. So when I'm wanting to say that I love some person, or when I want to say I love a family or a kid or a relationship, or when I want to say I love myself, what is this myself that I mean? Do I have an image of myself in my head? Do I have any identities, any images about myself? Maybe I love my my idea about myself. Maybe I love the way I look. Is that all? Maybe I love my body. Maybe I love the way I carry myself. And when I can put images to these things that I love, is that not so that I will be wanting to preserve those identities that I've started loving? I'm talking of the usual kind of love, this is what we do. Yes. So Aradhana ji is sharing, I think love is when there is a lot of space given to everyone to grow. So love comes synonymous with space. When I'm too much into my own self, too obsessed with myself, it cannot be love, it means, right? Because it needs space. And whenever I am obsessed with a person, I will not be giving that person the space. So although I may say in a romantic relationship or in another relationship, I may say that I love you, but I am all the time hovering around that person. Is that love? But I call it love. Can it be called love when I'm hovering around that person?
Monica, I have a question, please.
Yes, please.
You just said that if we love ourselves, if it becomes an obsession, that's not a love.
Yeah.
Right? That's what you said.
I'm just,
But-
questioning. Yes.
Yeah. And what I understand is real love is unconditional. That is what I feel personally. And that is why when we say to our children, and I think most of the people don't mean when they say I love you,
Yeah.
because I feel I love you when I say to my child or to my husband or anybody, it means unconditionally. No matter whether it suits me or not, I love you. My love is for you that way. But when you say that this becomes an obsession, loving yourself, and at the same time, love is unconditional also.
Yeah.
So no matter what I am, whether I love my body or a particular image of mine, I'm loving myself unconditionally, right? ये थोड़ा मुझे paradoxical लग रहा है. ये I'm not being able to comprehend it.
Yes.
I'm getting what I'm saying.
So what is the paradox? Can you
ये
reshare?
मुझे contradictory लग रहा है जैसे खुद ही जैसे for example you said कि we get obsessed कि I like this particular image of mine or body of mine or a particular my beauty or something of that sort.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, love is unconditional, they say. So
Beautiful.
that if love is unconditional, sorry, I'm getting confused in my own question.
बहुत बढ़िया. Confusion is Most welcome. Yeah.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is if love is unconditional, तो क्या फर्क पड़ता है मैं कुछ भी obsessed हूँ, वो तो unconditional है ना? You get it?
Yes. Let's talk about it. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
I'm not being able to explain it very well to you, I think.
No, I think it's very clear what you want to share.
Okay. Yeah.
So first of all, we have taken it for granted that one must love oneself, right? क्योंकि इतना ज्यादा पॉपुलर है ये बिलीफ, इतना ज्यादा पॉपुलर है कि वो अंदर घुस चुका है हमारे, राइट? आई मस्ट लव माई सेल्फ. So can we first begin from there and maybe see if the confusion gets resolved? Why must I love myself? And first of all, who is, see, the very fact that we talk about love tells me that there are two, right? अगर एक ही जन है तो उसको क्या पड़ी है प्यार करने की? किसको प्यार करेगा वो, right? इसका मतलब when I am talking about I must love myself, there must be two within me. Can we first begin from there? Let us just reflect upon this. In me, there are two, as if it seems. One who is asked to love, उसको बोला जा रहा है प्यार करो. And there is another who must be loved. What is this duality in me? A pen cannot love itself. You know, I can love a pen because I am separate from the pen. Right? I can love my ink pen. That is a possibility. A pen cannot love itself. So the very fact that we talk about love, it seems to me as if there are two within me. One who is not naturally loving by nature, and that's why he is being coaxed to love. And the other who must be loved, है ना? As if we are looking up to something, जैसे people we admire. So I must be admiring something within me only. Who is this I who must admire something within me? Yes. Share your reflections on this. Think about it. Let yourself get confused, because it's very important to break down our original definitions. Only then we can unravel some new truth. And that which can be broken down. If I am holding on to definitions which can be broken down, it's very good that it is broken down, that they are broken down. Only then can the truth reveal itself. So can we allow this confusion to be there for some time? What in me must love what? When I am saying I must love myself, love thyself, self-love, what does this mean? मेरे में ही कोई एंटिटी है जो बहुत ज्यादा लविंग नहीं है. इसका मतलब यही हुआ ना, क्योंकि अगर जो लविंग है उसको किसी को बताने की क्या जरूरत है? लव योरसेल्फ. In myself there is an entity who is not really loving in nature. Its nature is not to love. And that entity is being asked to love something within myself. What is that? I must love myself. अब ये भी हो सकता है कि आप बात कर रहे हो that this entity within myself is being asked to love itself. है ना? एक टुच्ची सी चीज है मेरे ही अंदर और उसको बोला जा रहा है तुझे अपना टुच्चापन बहुत पसंद आना चाहिए. तो अपने आप को प्यार कर, कितनी भी टुच्ची हो तू अपने टुच्चेपन से प्यार कर, ये भी हो सकता है. Yes. So Rama is sharing, Monica, I heard you once say the one inside that is needy is ego. Interesting, very interesting. Yes. So Aradhana ji shares, when we usually forget that we all are divine, then we think I am different and the divine is different. Yes. So there is something in me who is being asked to love something else in me. That's something in me which is always seeking, which is always restless. उसको ये एडवाइस दी जा रही है. उसको ये एडवाइस नहीं दी जा रही कि तू अपने आप को प्यार कर. अपने प्यार में तो वो बहुत है ऑलरेडी, तभी उसका ये हाल है. अपने टुच्चेपन से वो बहुत प्यार करती है. अपने छोटे छोटे लिटिल pleasures and all, you know, little identities, little images about myself. I am bloody in love with that. तो वो नहीं कहा जा रहा, डेफिनेटली कुछ और कहा जा रहा है. That little entity in me, which may be called as ego or my little self, which seems to have been separated from its truth, is being asked to love truth. I am being asked, I am being requested, the little me that I am, the little identity, the physical self that I am being asked, I am being requested to love truth that is present within me and without, obviously. What would happen when I do that? And because I have not been doing that, what has happened so far? Can I see that? Because I have been escaping from my own truth. The life I have lived is in front of me. And that is why this suggestion is coming from somewhere where they're asking me to have an admiration, to love that part of me which is the most precious, which is called as the treasure within you, which is untouched by all the disturbances in life. I must love myself. That little I that I'm usually limited by is being asked to love truth. What is truth? One can wonder, what is truth? What is this divine essence that we talk about? Practical बातें करें ना, सिर्फ डे टू डे में अगर बदलाव नहीं हो, सिर्फ ट्रुथ और डिवाइन की बातें करेंगे तो फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. Whenever I am going through any movement in life, as a couple of us were sharing in the beginning, can I allow myself to be with that movement fully, intimately, to go to the roots of that movement, attack the truth behind the face value? Then I must be loving myself. Can I have a fondness for truth? Can this little ego, can this little self develop now after so many years of life? Can it develop a fondness for truth and honesty? I'm not saying in the beginning just mad love, because that is not possible. A fondness, an inclination. Can I now see that it is possible to be inclined towards truth and honesty in life regarding my own movements and this whole world that is in front of me, of which I am the part? किसी भी चीज को सतह तक नहीं छोड़ना, रूट तक जाना है. I felt disappointment in the morning. Okay, imagine I felt disappointment. Usually what happens, okay, I'm feeling disappointed, I'm not liking it, and you find an escape to escape that is disappointment. So बिल्कुल उसकी shallow surface touch हुई और बाकी we were not able to touch. We just ran away what life had to offer me. So when disappointment comes in my life, when sadness comes in my life, when all these raw experiences of life come into my life, fear, anxiety, panic, can I choose to stay with them, not run away? Can I allow them space in my life? They want to share something, they have a message for me. Can I listen to that message? Have you ever, I'm asking this question to all of you, have you ever deeply stayed with disappointment, not wanting to escape from it by calling a friend or by picking up a book or by doing anything? Have you really met disappointment? In this very body that you are in? Have you really met disappointment? Anyone? You were expecting something, huh? We expect something from people, and that was not met. And you feel that there is a disappointment that rises up in my being. Yes. Beautiful. Have you really met disappointment or hopelessness or fear? Not wanting to do anything about fear. Nothing. Yes. Yes, Nehal. Just reflect on it. कि जब hopelessness आई, was I able to fully meet it naked? Not wanting to clothe it with some superficial name. The moment I clothe it, I am away from love. I cannot meet it. You know, we meet people, right? And you must have seen that whenever we have ideas about people, whenever I have images about people, we are never able to meet people. We just meet our own image about that person that I may be having. It may be a nice image, that's a different part. It may be a nice image or a bad image or whatever I have heard about that person. But whenever I am meeting that person, I will be actually meeting the image of that person. I'll not be able to meet that person. So it's very important for us to see that love is just exactly cross 36 का आंकड़ा होता है ना जैसे with images. Because if I am in love with my own image about love, I cannot actually allow myself to explore love. Exploration needs a lot of openness. I'm ready to break the boundaries. And since this is an exploration,
Monica,
right?
I have a question.
Yes.
Are you trying to, I mean, what you were saying is absolutely true. I agree with it. But like, what are you trying to say, facing fear, anger, or whatever? Suppose I am angry, very angry. So facing the anger means staying in it, right?
Yeah.
Uh, maybe that can stretch to some 2, 3, 4, 5 days.
Have
But
you ever
staying,
done that? Don't imagine. Do it. Do it.
no, I've never, no, I am now I try to do it with various emotions, of course,
Yeah.
but I must share this that earlier what stopped me from doing it was, for example, if I'm getting angry or suppose I'm getting scared, I
Yeah.
used to get scared. I used to come out of it very quickly. Because there was no one to pull me out of that.
Yeah.
Second, when I used to feel very low, people around me would tell me, I mean, what's wrong with you? I mean, this is something very petty. Why are you scared of it? Or, they would never validate my fear. कि
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
इसके लिए ये बहुत बड़ी चीज है. So what I used to feel was कि there's something wrong in me,
Yeah.
people around me are happy, they can cope up, but there's something wrong with me.
Yeah.
So, and when it used to come with other negative emotions like anger, so I would be like, they would be, people generally have a tendency to label you.
Yeah.
कि you carry it out, you stretch it out.
Yeah.
तो उस fear में कि मैं labeled ना हो जाऊं, I used to just shrug it off.
Yeah.
Like that with
Yeah.
other emotions.
Yeah.
But what I'm asking you, practically I'm asking you, कि इसको
Yeah.
कैसे करते हैं?
Yeah.
Suppose anger है, तो मैं जैसे जब तक मैं angry वाकई feel कर रही हूँ, I stay in that low emotion. Are you
आप
trying
ना गुरप्रीत जी जब तक ये करके देखोगे नहीं ना, आपको
हाँ
इसका मैजिक नहीं पता लगेगा. तो मैं जो कहना चाह रही हूँ, I'll just explain it in a bit more detail.
Yeah.
So something happens and I feel a disappointment emerging in me. ठीक है? There are several things I can do about that disappointment. One is that I move away and distract myself with something, not witness it fully. The other thing is that I call up some other friend and try to dissolve it, right? Find a pleasant distraction. The other possibility that is in front of me is that to see how solid this disappointment is. And this owing to the fact that I do it with myself. That's why I'm sharing it with you. That if I allow disappointment to stay within this being, like a friend who has come for visiting. So I see disappointment emerging in me and I don't do anything about it. I just allow space in my being, in my inner being. I allow space for that disappointment person to sit.
Okay.
Just that. Nothing else doing. Nothing else is required. And then see the magic, how it unfolds.
Okay.
So you are saying that if I allow myself to be with anger, it can continue to be maybe 1, 2, 3 days. I am asking, challenge it, question it, because when you will do it, only then you will see what this can do.
No, but where I'm seeking your help is I face the issue with fear actually. This is the one emotion that I'm
Yeah.
why I do not give myself the space to, dwell on that is because I'm too fearful, I feel very low, very helpless.
बिल्कुल.
So I just want to come out of it quickly.
बिल्कुल. और मैं अगर आपको ये बोलूं गुरप्रीत जी, ये जो फियर है ना, ये मेरे को भी आता है और ये जितना भयावह दिखता है ना, अगर आप इसके रूट्स तक चले जाओ, जड़ तक, तो आपको पता लगेगा ये मैसेज कुछ और ही लेके आया था. इमेजिन करो ना, आपके घर कोई आए, हाँ, अब वो बुर्का डाल के आए. अब वो बुर्का डाल के आया है तो आपको जब बुर्का देखते ही आपको डर लग गया कि भैया ये आ कौन गया. That is the facade that fear gives us. The moment you utaro the burqa, you see, oh my God, it's your long lost friend. So I am saying, can I allow myself to go through that discomfort of being with the burqa? Okay. It is discomforting in nature. I'm not saying it's very pleasing in nature.
Yeah.
Can I allow myself to go through that discomfort and what it does to my body when I am fully with fear, not wanting to run away from it? ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या करेगा? खा जाएगा. Imagine करो ना, शेर खड़ा है सामने. Maximum worst possible खा जाएगा. Be ready for your annihilation. I'm saying be prepared for the worst possible that can happen in your mind. Only then, only in fearlessness can you be with fear. That's a paradox.
Yeah, very true. Yes.
So first comes fearlessness and then comes the meeting with fear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, so there is, continuing with the one in me who must love the truth. And we were talking about how to know the truth behind our day-to-day facets. How to know the truth behind fear. Because if I do not meet fear, I will only have images about fear. And rest assured, those images will be fearful in nature, as Gurpreet ji was sharing. If I do not allow myself to meet the criminal, meet the terrorist that I have so much heard about, Everywhere in the newspaper, there is news about this criminal. Fear. Here comes fear. After killing so many people. I just know images about fear. Can I have a rendezvous with fear? And that requires a lot of fearlessness. Imagine a journalist who has gone now to this fear personified, having a coffee table discussion with fear. That journalist needs a lot of strength and courage. He must be, जैसे होता है ना कि अपना एटम बॉम्ब लगा लिया अपने कमर पे और निकल गए, कुछ ऐसा ही करके गया होगा. He doesn't care about himself. For him is important that I must find out the truth behind the fear. That kind of a courage is required if we want to meet our truth in day-to-day movements. Without courage, it's impossible to meet day-to-day movements because they are threatening in nature. Ask yourself, question yourselves, what is the maximum that you can threaten? You can kill me? Okay, I'm ready to be killed, but I want truth. That kind of a love for truth is being asked when I say I love myself. क्या करोगे? हमको सबसे ज्यादा डर किससे लगता है? Annihilation से तो लगता है डर. What is ego afraid of? The ego is afraid of self-annihilation. कहीं dissolve ना हो जाऊं, कहीं ऐसी संगति में पड़ गई कि मेरी identity मिट जाए. And that is why we see that our friend circles are ones who maintain our identity. Who do ha, तू बिल्कुल सही कह रही है. That is the friend circle we call our closest friends, who maintain our boundaries. Now, can we call this love? Do we call this love? इसमें क्या दूसरे का हित है? अगर आप किसी और को लिमिटेड रख रहे हो और खुद भी लिमिटेड रह रहे हो in the process, ego massaging the other ego, can it be called love? Or destruction? Feels like a curse actually. When we wish people, many a times we use this word, stay as you are. Feels like a curse to me. It has always felt like a curse. Stay as you are. So you are asking the other person to be whatever. He may be good. I'm not saying that the person is not good. But is he not allowed to change and evolve? You may have liked the attitude of that person. That is also okay. But is the attitude also not allowed to change, evolve? But this is our usual kind of love. We preserve our boundary and we want to preserve the boundary of the other fellow next to me, and I call it love. And nothing must shake this balance, this relationship that we have, a very delicate balance that we are hanging on. तूने मुझे कुछ कहीं गलती से कह दिया जो मेरी बाउंड्री को हिट करा, तो वो ना ही कहे तो अच्छा है, क्योंकि फिर मैं तेरी बाउंड्री को हिट करूंगा. And because I am scared that my boundary can be hit, I will not touch the boundary of the other person. This is our usual love. क्या इसमें किसी का भी हित है? जब हम love की बात करते हैं, we must see whether we want to just please the other person and maintain that false relationship, or do I want to actually bring that person to truth? No matter how harsh it may be, no matter how shattering it may be for my relationship. Because if that person is not yet having a fondness for truth, he will not be able to much appreciate your stance, right? That is a possibility. तो हो सकता है वो friendship lose हो जाए. But आपने क्या किया? आपका जो कर्म था वो उसके काम का था या उसके boundary preserve करने का था? Can we look at our intentions when we talk to people or ourselves? Am I wanting to preserve my boundary here? Can I see? Can I check? Or am I wanting to not care about my boundary, but this is the truth in this movement and I must share it because truth is beneficial for everyone. Truth cannot harm anyone. Truth is just harmful for the ego if we see only on the surface. But the ego also wants rest. Ego has been seeking and seeking rest for so many years. And truth gives ego the rest. So for ego also, if we go deeper, truth may appear shattering, but it's actually its own good. Ego's dissolution lies in truth. We talk about this entity that is demanding within us, right? We talk about ego, an entity which is demanding within us. It must be demanding for a reason, right? कुछ तो होगा जो उसे चाहिए. क्या है जो उसे चाहिए? This entity who is ever restless. चैन कभी पड़ता ही नहीं है. एक सिगरेट फूंक ली, चलो थोड़ी देर के लिए पड़ गया, फिर वापस बेचैन हो जाते हैं, फिर वापस बेचैन हो जाते हैं. So can I be sensitive towards this restlessness of this little entity called ego within me? And what is it seeking? It must be seeking something. Can I be so sensitive and loving towards this that I do not, जैसे होता है ना कि एक छोटा बच्चा है, हाँ, उसको कोई गलत आदत लग गई है, ज्यादा खाने की आदत या कोई भी, तो तुम प्यार में पड़ के क्या करते हो? हम कहते हैं ले बच्चे खा ले, ले बच्चे खा ले, ले बच्चे खा ले. और तुम उसका हित कर रहे हो या अहित कर रहे हो प्यार में पड़ के? Just like I used to come from outside when I was doing PhD, there were these people within my own family who were in love with alcohol. Now I would have given them alcohol and they must have felt pleased with me and I would have thought कि हाँ मैंने उसको gratify कर दिया. But is that the welfare of the other person? So what is love? Is my action actually doing a welfare of the other person? Can I constantly ask this question, or myself? For example, we talk about desires, we talk about maintaining our boundaries when we talk about ego. When I am maintaining my boundary and wanting to preserve it, not wanting to get hurt, am I doing good for myself? I can see that no, I am not. So can I allow myself to go through that hurt that comes when a boundary is broken? बहुत कलेजा चाहिए होता है इसके लिए ना. Can I allow myself that hurt which happens when a little boundary is broken, so that which lies within the boundary gets expanded? थोड़ा बहुत दर्द तो बहुत जरूरी है. And we talk about, we have earlier sessions also we have talked about being sensitive, बहुत जल्दी hurt हो जाते हैं people. कोई भी कुछ कह दिया, hurt हो गए. क्या है ये चीज जो hurt होती रहती है बार बार? हर छोटी बात पे hurt. As I was sharing earlier, that you cannot use a hammer for air. Air cannot get hurt by a hammer. Only a wall gets hurt. If I have gotten hurt, there must be a wall somewhere. So can I take it as a signal and check the wall? Allow it to break. Because that who I truly am is unshatterable. No matter if the body dies, that which I am truly am is unbreakable. So I will have to allow myself to go through a lot of breakings in order to reach that which I am, which is unbreakable. है ना? जो भी टूट सकता है, जो टूट सकता है. अब फियर क्या डर लेके आता है मेरे पास कि कुछ है जो टूट जाएगा. अब अगली बार जब फियर आए, टेक दिस स्टैंस. तू तोड़ के दिखा जो तू तोड़ सकता है. बहुत बढ़िया होगा मेरे लिए. तू तोड़ जो तू तोड़ सकता है, तू तोड़. मैं खड़ी हूं यहाँ पे. And there, fear reveals something to us. अब हमें देखना है, हमें चेक करना है कि क्या हम डे टू डे मूवमेंट्स में इसको अलाउ कर सकते हैं, because this needs a lot of space. It's very easy to go through fear and get distracted. And it's difficult to go through fear and to be completely with it, to be present completely with it. Wants a lot of space. That space that I allow, that is love. Unending space, an allowance of all the movements of life. So when I am saying I must love myself, what am I saying? This little ego must look up, this little ego must look up to truth, must be having a lovingness, must be having a fondness for truth. है ना, जो हम है, जो एक ह्यूमन बीइंग, एक पर्सन मैं हूं, क्या मैं एक डेवलप कर सकती हूँ फॉन्डनेस फॉर ट्रूथ? इज इट पॉसिबल? कैन आई डू दैट? कैन आई सी द ट्रूथ behind all the movements of my life? Because if I am in touch with truth, even in one movement of life, love will reveal itself to me. Truth and love go together. Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. And then something beautiful is revealed to me in each and every little moments. Can I allow that to happen? Because I become the wall. I am the wall in front of love and myself. I am the wall. That which I call as little I. That which is always insecure, always afraid. कुछ टूट जाएगा, कुछ टूट जाएगा. अगर ये ईगो तैयार हो जाए हल्की सी हिम्मत लेके कि देखते हैं जरा क्या टूटेगा, तब ये सत्य की साथी हो सकती है. Only then, when I allow myself to love this truth of my being, the essence of my being, only then love in its truest essence is revealed to me. Before that, I have no idea what love means. All my ideas about love are just images. If I'm not in touch with truth of my own life, for sure I do not know what love is. So what is the beginning for us, human beings? The beginning for us is to have this fondness towards truth in my life. Enough of falsehood, enough of shallow appearances. So when we talk about loving oneself, as you guys were sharing in the beginning also, now I am developing this honesty and truthfulness about myself. I want to see each and every phase of my life with an honest and truthful eye. I'm allowing a lot of space for that to happen. I'm having an inclination towards truth. And Kabir says, प्रेम गली अति सांकरी जामे दो न समाए. The lane of love is very narrow. There two cannot be. Who are the two? The ego and the true self. So what will happen if we go on this path too far? The ego begins to walk this path towards the true self, towards truth. And in the process, ego annihilates itself. So that only love remains. Only truth remains. There is nothing, no remnant of the ego is found. So this is a path of suicide. When we talk about love, it's a dangerous field. It's talking about suicide of ego. Ego is being asked to have a fondness for truth so that the ego is dissolved. It's sublimated. Which ego would like to do that? And that's why a strong fondness with truth is required. If my ego is not in love with truth, it cannot walk on this dangerous path where there is a very strong or very, very kind of 100% surety of it getting annihilated. So that only love remains. There is no one remaining who would love something. प्रेम गली अति साकरी जामे दो ना समाए. तब तो सिर्फ एक रहेगा. कौन तैयार है इस पथ पे चलने के लिए? And that entity within me who just always wants to preserve itself, if it does not mellow down a bit, it will not be able to walk this path. It's a dangerous path. It's not a pleasing path. That the person that you have known yourself for years is going to be sublimated. Would you still want to walk that path? You must be stupid. So a stupidity is needed. A madness is needed. And a hopelessness is needed that, yes, I know that so far I have been just running around and around and I'm just tired of this self that I call myself. So it better get annihilated. This is also surrender. Ego is giving itself to truth. And in the process, getting self-sublimated. फिर कोई ये बचेगा नहीं कहने के लिए कि मैंने अपने आप को दे दिया और मेरे साथ ये हुआ. कोई वो बचेगा नहीं इंसान. Who would like to do that? So love जितना मशी मशी फील होता है बॉलीवुड, हॉलीवुड और बाकी चीजों से, ये कुछ बहुत डेंजर की बात हो रही है यहाँ पे. Dangerous for the ego. Only for the ego. Liberation for the self, dangerous for the ego. But at the same time, paradoxically, we can see that this is what ego has been craving since centuries. It actually has been waiting for its annihilation only. Otherwise, rest आ जाता ना ego को. Rest मिल जाता, चैन मिल जाता. मिला नहीं. कुछ तो चक्कर है. Ego has been waiting for truth to come. But the paradox is that the very fact that can give ego rest, ego is also afraid of that because it carries annihilation. Now, which way to go? A very strong ego who still feels that, yes, I am capable, I can live this life, will not be able to walk this path. This path will be only open to the ego who is realized the futility of its attempts. The futility of being ego. So ego was the helper, but ego becomes the bar now. It does not want to get annihilated. है ना? आगे बात कैसे बढ़ेगी? So far the ego's role was maybe required, but now it's not required. It's like, imagine that, I have a ladder, and with that ladder I'm kind of climbing up the steps to the terrace. And when the terrace comes, what do? I want to take the ladder onto the terrace. What stupidity! I'll not be able to do that. It will be so uncomfortable. I'll not be able to explore the terrace if I take the terrace on the terrace. Oh, sorry, if I take the ladder on the terrace. So ego was the ladder to the self. But the moment now self is calling very, very strongly, we hear this call, which we call as inner voice maybe. That which calls, the truth calls us all the time. Now, if I still allow the ladder on the terrace, God saves me. So the ladder has to be left beneath, and I have now to just be on the terrace. Can I allow myself to do that? Can I not be so fearful that I cannot live without the ladder? This is the climax of loving oneself. So the very fact that love exists in nature, love was sent, if I can use the word sent, love was sent so that the ego, which has been waiting for centuries, must get merged in its essence. This was the very purpose of the love being sent. So that these seeming two, may submerge into each other. They merge into each other so that the ego finds rest. And if there is only one that remains, then who is to love what? You must have seen lovers. When there is a deep, deep communion between the lovers, you cannot say, I am loving you. There is just a oneness. So when the oneness is there, there is no love required. Who will love who? For the love to exist, two things have to be there. The ego and something higher than the ego. That is the very purpose of love to exist. So when we talk about loving oneself or self-love, it just means, as it appears from our exploration so far, that can I allow myself to be in fondness with the truth of my being? Can I not run away from this very raw life that presents itself every day in different forms? Can I be that space? And then in that allowance, I am doing the biggest help, biggest social service that can be done to myself. And once I know how to take care of my own self, how to bring myself to love, only then can I spill out that love to other persons. Before that, it will always be a torture that I do. Because I am limited, I am wanting to preserve my boundaries. So indirectly, because world is nothing but a reflection, I'll be doing the same to you. The way I preserve my boundaries, the way I do not challenge myself, I will be doing the same to you. I will not be allowing you to explore this world because I do not allow myself, because I'm scared that my boundaries will be shattered and I don't want to do that. So I'll be doing the same torture on the other person. So love for myself, for the truth in myself, goes hand in hand with love for the other person. It's through truth. Then I'll not be able to massage other person's ego, because I know it is very dangerous for the other person too. Why on the earth I'll be doing that to the person? Yeah. Yes. So any comments? Let me take a pause here. Any comments, any questions here? Yes, so Nehal shares, does this mean that when say I love the divine, actually I'm not even loving the divine in true sense? Nehal, depends, on what you want to call it as the divine. So we have been using the word truth, because a divine, if I use the word divine, I may just have an image about the divine, right? And that will not help me change my practical life. So when I say that now I'm ready to explore truth in my life, because truth and divine go hand in hand, they are not separate from each other. That is more practical for me, right? Because for truth, I will not have any image about truth. है ना? For example, we were talking about hopelessness. So when I talk about seeing the truth behind the hopelessness, I'm actually entering in the divine area only. It's all divine everywhere. So even if I'm not using the word divine, can I attack the root of hopelessness? Can I have that courage? Because using the word divine will allow me to just have images about the divine. But for truth, I cannot have any images. Because if we talk about the truth behind disappointment or truth behind hopelessness, what we will do? We will be with hopelessness and we will stay there until the end, until the hopelessness sublimates into something greater. Can I allow myself to go there? Because when I say I love the divine, yes, you're right. I have no clue what the divine is. It is just kind of philosophy, just a few nice words that I may call myself. Yes, yes. So Ramaji is sharing, please elaborate on truth. How am I in this movement? What is happening to me? Am I having clarity? Or am I getting more and more confused? So getting in touch with my own movements. क्या हो रहा है दिमाग में? क्या होता है जब मैं वो बातों को सोचती हूँ? है ना? ये है मेरी सच्चाई क्या है? मेरी सच्चाई क्या है? ये मैं उसी समय जो जो हो रहा है मैं उसको देख पा रही हूँ. क्या होता है मेरे अंदर क्या क्या घटता है जब मैं उन चीजों के बारे में सोचती हूँ? तो मुझे सच्चाई सामने दिखेगी कि मैं तो बहुत कंफ्यूज हो जाती हूँ और डर आ जाता है. बिल्कुल दिमाग में क्लैरिटी बिल्कुल रहती नहीं है, कंफ्यूजन ही कंफ्यूजन आ जाता है. तो अगर मैं इस सब को देख पा रही हूँ तो मैं क्या फिर भी अलाउ करूंगी? क्या मैं इतनी बेवकूफ हूं कि ये सब जानते हुए भी कि वो सब सोच के मेरे अंदर ये घटित होता है, क्या मैं इतनी बेवकूफ हूं कि मैं फिर भी अलाउ करूंगी अपने आप को उधर जाना, उस गली में जाना? बट मैं करती हूँ. ये मेरी सच्चाई है. सो व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट ट्रुथ, truth is staying where you are in your rawness, not wanting to nail paint it with some color which is appearing beautiful for the society. No, a person asks, how do you feel today? I'm a bit confused. That is my truth. That's a different fact that the person would not want to talk to you about confusion. I'm not going there. Can I be truthful about my state? That these are the places where I find clarity, and these are the places which lead more bhasad in my life. Why do I still allow bhasad in my life? Because I must be fueling the bhasad, that is for sure. What in me wants that bhasad? Because something in me knows that clarity is also lurking round the corner. ये होता क्या है मुझे? So truth becomes an exploration. With truth, you are able to see the root of the things. With truth, you gather the courage. And now truth goes hand in hand with courage. With truth, I gather the courage to meet fear. With truth, I gather the courage to confront a relationship which I wanted to have confronted, but I was not having the courage. क्या हो जाएगा? ज्यादा से ज्यादा टूट जाएगा, बिखर जाएगा। पहले भी कौन सा कितना सुधरा हुआ है। इस मरी हुई जिंदगी से तो अच्छा बिखर जाए, देखते हैं फिर क्या आता है। दिस इज फेथ। ट्रुथ गोज हैंड इन हैंड विथ फेथ, करेज, अलाउंस एंड लव। एंड व्हेन आई एम विथ फॉल्सहुड, डिसऑनेस्टी, तो क्या होगा? दिख रहा होगा मुझे, एक मेरा कोई ना कोई पार्ट देख रहा है कि मुझे कहाँ क्लैरिटी मिलती है और कहाँ नहीं मिलती है। फिर भी मैं फॉल्सहुड का साथ तब दूंगी जब मैं जानते हुए भी मैं गलत गली में चली जाऊं। इससे बड़ा धोखा हमारे साथ कोई नहीं हो सकता। जब पता है कि मुझे कहाँ भसड़ है और कहाँ मेरी जीवन में क्लैरिटी है, जानते बूझते हुए मैं गलत गली में बार बार जाऊं, ये है फॉल्सहुड का साथ देना। और इस चीज को देख पाना कि हाँ, मैं ही हूं जो फॉल्सहुड का साथ देती हूं बार बार, ये है ट्रुथ। अपनी सच्चाई देख पाना, मूवमेंट टू मूवमेंट सच्चाई देख पाना, इज बीइंग फ्रेंड्स विद ट्रुथ। नाउ दिस पर्सन who is being friends with truth, this person would not want to preserve boundaries of any of his friends or relationships or family. So this person may become lonely, but it would not be the usual loneliness that we talk about. This will be aloneness. I am content who I am. That is aloneness, ekant. Now this person also will not be a person desired by everyone, because he doesn't care about your boundaries. He just wants you to talk about truth. अपनी सच्चाई की बात करो, मैं अपनी की बात करूंगा। सो अब देखो, लूज तो करना पड़ेगा ना। बहुत सारे पुराने रिलेशनशिप्स, बहुत सारे पुराने फ्रेंड्स को लूज करना पड़ेगा, बट दैट इज द पार्ट ऑफ द गेम। समथिंग न्यू विल अराइज और मे अराइज, गॉड नोज व्हाट। So aloneness then comes hand in hand with love, with true love, the love for my truth, the love that I don't want to make a fool of myself anymore in this life, and to even see the fact all the times when I do make a fool of myself, to see it and to laugh over it is truth. कुछ भी पर्दे के नीचे नहीं जा रहा, सब कुछ है जो सामने है, मेरी आंखों के सामने है। अब मेरे में कुछ है जो इंटेरोगेट करना चाह रहा है, एक्सप्लोर करना चाह रहा है। अब मेरे को कंफ्यूजन नहीं चाहिए, आई वॉन्ट क्लैरिटी। लव फॉर क्लैरिटी इज लव फॉर ट्रुथ। द वेरी फैक्ट दैट वी आर हियर टुडे, वी आर एक्सप्लोरिंग दिस टॉपिक, इज अ लव टुवर्ड्स दैट truth only, the truth of our being, clarity. We all love clarity, don't we? You know, we all want to go from confusion to clarity. That is actually telling our fondness for truth only. We are fond of truth. So can we just admit that yes, I am fond of truth, I am in love with truth? Can I allow that to manifest in life? कि लाइफ के लेवल पे वो किस तरह से अब बाहर निकलेगा, लव फॉर ट्रुथ। बहुत उल्लू बनाया आपने आपको, अब और नहीं। You know, looking at yourself in all your messed up situations. Yes, this is my truth right now. And yes, from here I would go to clarity. Because if I don't accept where I am, how can I on earth, how can I buy a ticket where I want to be? You know, for me to buy even an air ticket, I want to tell the starting point and the destination. So my destination is truth. My destination is pure love, my essence, my higher self. For that, it's very important to admit, where am I right now? Otherwise, I'll not be able to travel. So this admission of my present state to myself is truth. Usually we keep on fooling ourselves. होते बड़े सैड हैं, बट हम बोलते हैं नहीं नहीं बढ़िया चल रहा है, बहुत बढ़िया चल रहा है. We don't acknowledge that sadness. That sadness wants to tell me something. That sadness is nothing but a calling from that deeper part within me. Just like I feel thirsty, right? When I feel thirsty, the thirst is the sign that somewhere something like water must exist to quench that thirst. So my sadness, my sorrow, my suffering is the sign that something to quench that suffering, something to get a resolution to that suffering must exist somewhere in this world only. Can I look at the message my sadness wants to give me? Go deeper and deeper. Allow it to break apart everything that can be broken so that love can be unmasked. And this is owing to love for clarity that I am traveling this path. So when I'm saying I must love myself, now the ego has begun to seek for clarity. Ego is striving to aim at truth. This is what, if we can discuss at one level, may mean what is to love oneself. To love the highest and the best part within myself, the most precious being, essence within my being, so that it may elevate me, it may take me higher. Not letting myself be contented in limited boundaries. And no one is contented, actually. If we see, no one can be contented in limited boundaries. That's a very beautiful signal that there must be more. So love is a self-elevation. You allow yourself to be elevated, because that which you seek is far above your reach at the moment. And in the process of loving that person, you allow yourself to be elevated. We all have these idols in life, idol persons, idol celebrities, and these kind of people, people who we look up to. So what do these people do to us? It may be a divine figure only. So when we contemplate on the properties of this loved one, we strive to be that loved one. That love and fondness for that divine being or the loved one is carrying me, is elevating me from my present state. So love is also a elevation. Can I allow myself to walk this path? The path of seeking for truth and clarity in each and every movement of my life is a path towards elevation only. And this is a continuing process. You go closer and closer and closer towards truth, so that only truth remains and there is no one seeking. The seeker has sublimated. Now there is no difference between the seeker and truth. And hence, there is no need for love. Truth is all there is. Love is all there is, if one can say. So who needs to love what? And this goes completely, if you are able to relate, hand in hand with surrender. A complete self-giving. Nothing of this littleness must remain. That kind of a fondness. पतंगा जाता है ना शमा के पास, शमा और परवाना. It very well knows that it will get annihilated. Yet it's so fond of loving that flame that it allows itself the annihilation. So love is self-annihilation. ये आग का दरिया है और डूब के जाना है. Mystics have said, इश्क ये आग का दरिया है और डूब के जाना है. जो उभरा सो डूब गया, जो डूबा सो पार. जो बच के निकल गया, जो बोल रहा आहा मैं अभी प्यार से निकल के आया हूं, वो तो गया, मतलब वो तो कभी अंदर घुसा ही नहीं. जो डूबा, द वन हु गॉट एनिहिलेटेड, सो पार. This is what the danger of love is for the ego. And one must be in true love with oneself if one allows the ego to walk this path of self-annihilation. This is the true love that we can talk about. The truest form of love is allowing this to happen. And the universe is with us with regards to this self-annihilation. The universe is with us. Look at the blows that we get in life. It wants to do something to us. It wants to chisel us out of the rock that we are, hiding in. Can we allow that chiseling to happen? Can I allow the universal sculptor to carve me out of the stone, the rock? I will have to go through pain, but it's a sweet pain. Yes. Yeah, anyone? ये इश्क नहीं आसा, इतना समझ लीजिए, ये आग का दरिया है और डूब के जाना. तो हम में और उस परवाने में कोई फर्क नहीं है. One who has this calling towards the soul, towards the truest being, and the one who is the parvana, there is no difference. We are that nature that we see all around us. There are starkly so many similarities between the nature that we see and who we are, because we are that nature. Yeah, so I think I'm done from my side. I've said enough. If there are any comments or questions, I'm happy to take them. Okay, in that case, yeah, thank you for joining, everyone. Thank you for taking out time. And yeah, it's a beautiful adventure that we have embarked upon in all our unique ways. May we just continue with this adventure. May we have the strength to continue with this adventure. Yes. Yeah. Thank you for joining.